The next time you book a cab using a mobile app, try asking your cab driver whether he is satisfied with his wages and work conditions. His reply probably will be in the negative. Cab drivers in India have been protesting against the digital masters, Uber and Ola, over complaints ranging from low wages to high commissions. They have to pay 20 to 30% of their earnings to Uber or Ola for each ride. Worse, they enjoy little by way of a social security net. Why is it so? It is because they are not classified as the company's permanent employees. They are independent contractors. Uber drivers working in the Netherlands also had similar complaints. So they approached a court with their grievance, arguing that Uber should recognize them as employees. And this week, an Amsterdam court gave a verdict in their favor. In its judgment, the court said that the legal relationship between Uber and its drivers met all the characteristics of an employment contract. Uber is looking to challenge this decision. In March, the UK Supreme Court had also held that Uber drivers were employees, forcing the company to formally recognize a labour union that would give its drivers greater bargaining powers. The UK court found that Uber's drivers were entitled to benefits such as paid holidays, minimum wage, and pensions, because the ride-hailing platform assigned the rates and rides, and disciplined the drivers based on ratings. In the UK verdict, the court made 5 key observations as to why Uber's drivers were employees and not contractors. Firstly, the fare to be received by the drivers is set by Uber. The drivers are not permitted to accept any fare higher than that, unlike regular taxi drivers. The driver is shown limited information about the passenger. The driver is not made aware of the destination before the start of the trip, so that they cannot decline the trip. The route to be taken is also fixed by Uber, and it imposes financial penalties on drivers in cases of a complaint. The communication between the driver and the passengers is restricted by Uber to the necessary minimum, and it must not extend beyond the particular trip. This means that they have no option of improving their economical position by using their professional or entrepreneurial skills. As an MNC, Uber imposes similar policies on its drivers across jurisdictions. In fact, drivers with both Ola and Uber in India have complained that the status as platform workers has meant that they've been exploited by both companies with very low wages and little to no benefits. Since last year, as petrol prices have risen amid the pandemic, the wages of drivers have fallen sharply, leading to protests by the unions in several cities. Amid these developments, the Indian government came out with the Code on Social Security 2020, which for the first time talked about the rights of gig and platform workers. The code mandated that companies employing platform workers needed to contribute 1 to 2% of their annual turnover to social security schemes set up by the centre and state governments. With the implementation of the code, gig workers will also enjoy disability cover, accident insurance, health and maternity benefits, among other things. However, the code hasn't been implemented yet. When asked about the recent court ruling in the Netherlands, an Uber spokesperson had this to say: But the Code on Social Security only provides the central and state governments the right to notify schemes in favor of gig workers. So there is no tangible benefit to gig workers as of now, since no scheme has yet been notified. Also, the code doesn't entitle gig workers to benefits under other labour and employment legislations in force in India, something that the UK court decision does. It remains to be seen how soon cab drivers in India will see better days.
If you liked this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.